Sandland is an action RPG, and that action is driven by a variety of fun vehicles. See what we did there? These vehicles, or bots as the characters like to call them, can be fully customized, and if you're looking for the best options, we've got you covered. These are the best bot builds for Sandland. First things first, we're going to narrow down the list of bots for this video. This is about the best, and quite frankly, some vehicles just aren't as good as others. Either they just don't feel good in combat, or they're alternatives to the main bots you'll be using in your adventure. We'll be focusing on the Battle Tank, Jump Bot, Motorbike, Hovercar, and Battle Armor, the 5 mandatory bots you'll get during Sandland. Some rules apply to all 5 of them. For example, you should always level up your bots when you can, and you can level up individual parts too. In fact, some parts need to be leveled up before they can be converted into stronger weapons. Don't be stingy with those materials. Sandland is overflowing with crafting ingredients, so spend them when you have them. The Battle Tank is the first bot you'll add to your arsenal, and for most players, it'll be the main one they use for the rest of the game. The tank is highly maneuverable, able to move and aim in all directions. Just remember that the cannon can only aim so high in the air. To build the best tank, focus on defense and returning fire. For your primary cannons, use the highest damaging option, even if there isn't a high ammo count. After shelling the enemy, you can swap over to your secondary while the cannon reloads. Therefore, choosing a secondary with a high ammo count, like the Gatling gun, is the way to go. This way you can dump the whole magazine by the time the cannon is ready again. Your engine choice isn't as important here, but picking something with high boost acceleration will be good for when you need to get clear of surrounding enemies. Similarly, you'll want to use a reinforced fender to raise your defense. Due to the 360 nature of the tank, you'll probably find yourself surrounded more often than not. That's why choosing the extra armor option will help you out too. More armor keeps you alive longer. However, if you find yourself getting pelted by missiles too often, you can swap to the interception system to automatically take those out. Finally, choose incendiary ammo and endurance boosters for your chip slots. The strong cannon plus fire damage will devastate your enemies, and more health will always help you out. Next up is the Jump Bot, which is sort of like the Star Wars AT-AT, but with the ability to leap into the air. As such, you'll want to focus on mobility so that you can run and jump around, making it hard for the bad guys to aim their weapons at you. One of the best jump bot tactics is to hop up to the high ground and aim down at the enemy. Your primaries fire in an arc and deal AoE damage, so choose a mortar with fire to make this even more effective. This works well at medium range. So take a shotgun as your secondary so that you can deal heavy close range damage to anyone who gets too near. For your engine, choose high acceleration to help with your mobility around the battlefield, or if you need to make an escape. Likewise, choose a suspension with more speed instead of defense. As for options, missile pods are a great choice. This gives you more firepower in the medium to long range, which covers all your bases. For chip slots, just choose ones that boost your weapon damage. That way you can hit the hardest from your vantage point.
Well, it goes.
The Motorbike isn't the most combat-focused vehicle, but it's perfect for getting around the open world quickly. Even so, you'll need to set it up for combat whenever you encounter high-speed enemy bots. Due to the bike's high speed, landing shots reliably can be tricky. So stick with standard primary shotguns with a wide spread so that you can do quick drive-bys. Your secondary weapon can only be fired facing forward, which is quite limiting. To counter this, choose weapons with high ammo count. To be honest, you'll be doing a lot of spraying and praying as you brake and drift around enemies. Since the nitro boost is only depleted during combat, choose an engine with high boost recovery. That way you can use it more often in the heat of battle. Similarly, your suspension should have high handling and speed to let you dart around the enemies and line up your shots. Of course, the bike is also capable of ramming into enemies, so use the flaming boost option for maximum impact and extra incendiary damage. For your chips, more ammo will be very helpful, and you can also boost the power of your weapons so that the bullets that do hit deal more damage. Next up is the Hovercar, which moves slower than the previous bots. The trade-off is that it's your best option for combat atop quicksand or in the water. And even though it is slower, it has 360 aiming like the tank. With that in mind, we're going to treat it the same way. Standard rockets with low ammo count will do just fine for your primary weapon. Pick a secondary machine gun with lots of ammo so that you can drain that clip while the rockets reload. For your engine, there's no need to worry about speed, and to be honest, the hover ability isn't the most useful in a combat situation. But if you like to use it, then make sure you have an engine with high recovery. For your suspension, go for defense over speed. Like we said, think of the Hovercar as a tank for the water. The jet thruster is a great choice for your option, because it works like a dodge. Choose that so that you can sidestep enemy attacks more easily. For your chip slots, more ammo is a great choice. And if you do like using the aforementioned hover boost, then be sure to pick chips that improve your boost recovery or consumption. Finally, we have the battle armor, aka the mech. It moves slowly, but it hits really hard and has the ability to boost dodge away from enemy attacks. It's a very versatile bot, so there are a few different things to focus on. Your primary punch attacks don't have much variety, so just focus on upgrading those and dealing the most damage. Stop us if you've heard this before, but that also means choosing a secondary weapon with a high ammo count. Something like the machine gun will let you fire off a big magazine while the punch charges back up. For your engine, focus on improving your boost dodge. As with the Hovercar, the hover ability isn't the best choice for active combat. Better boosting means getting clear of larger enemy attacks. Since the battle armor is already slow, don't worry about speed for your suspension. More armor for better defense is the way to go. For your option, we're big fans of the cannon. This adds another weapon option while you reload your punch, and it has great range and high damage. As for your chips, give yourself more ammo, and use your second slot for boost recovery or consumption. That'll let you dodge around enemy fire even more. And those are the best builds for Sandland's 5 primary bots. With these, you'll be able to take down the enemy armies much easier. If you want more info on the game's optional vehicles, or if you simply need more tips and tricks for getting through the desert, then drive on over to our wiki on IGN.com.